This is Eric Allen. Eric has been with me a number of years. She's unbelievably dedicated. I go home at night and she's still working. She loves the place so much she took a week off from work to make sure we finished everything on time. It's not the first time she's done that. I got to talk louder. She's unbelievable, okay? She loved art since she was a little kid. She does everything. She, one just find the word, but she eventually learned her techniques and got to the point people took notice and looked for her to make things for them. She reproduced Van Gogh to design master prints for tattoos. When she started with the graveyard, she was just an actress, and at the end of the year, helped close up. I did not know Erica had the talent that she did. Some of these people who work for me who come here just act. And then all of a sudden you discover, holy crap, they can do this, this, and this. Erica was one of those people. And she's just an amazing. Okay, I gave her this assignment 2 years ago, and it was like, whoa. When you walk through the show, you will see it, what she did. On the rock walls, we built to hide what is in front of you, the werewolves. Okay, and that's all her work. Okay, so Erica, go ahead.
Hi, how you doing today? Thanks for coming. America, I do a lot of the stone wall working here, artwork. I did start when I was really young, paper, pencil, crayons, just throughout the years, just practice, till I'm finally here now, doing a dream job here. It's a lot of work, like he said, a lot of dedication. We're here. I don't need a gym. It's all right here. But today I'm going to show you a little bit how the stone walls up in bats and bats and werewolves up there. We built those from scratch. Ernie's like, I want this to look like rocks. I want it, very textured, very, I was like, all right. So he gets the materials. You start doing it, and that's what's down here now. I'm going to show you a little bit of kind of start to right before they do the concreting. What we do is really, really important because the next job is only as good as the last. So if I don't do what I'm doing right, when the guy comes into concrete, it's just going to escalate and make that mistake even look worse. So from start to finish, everybody has to be on the same page, and really each step has to just go accordingly. Because after once they concrete, you can't go back and fix the forms. Okay, so behind you, I'll come down.
Let me just, before Erica started this, we used to do the old Haunter's trick, monster mud, canvas, chicken wire. With the crowds that we do on some Saturday nights, that gets destroyed. We still use it in spiders, but eventually that's all going to be changed over. It just takes too much of a beat. Okay, Erica, sorry.
Yep, so he wanted something more permanent. Everything that we build here is solid as a rock. Like he said, with the chicken wire and everything, it's a learning process. You get to see what really kind of gets beat up. But this stuff, you'll see it at the end, exactly what it looks like, absolutely completed, painted and textured and things like that. But I'm going to come down and I'm going to show you a little bit of from start to finish. I set this up this morning, as a matter of fact, for everybody. So, but usually these are vertical. And what they do is we'll go up. I've helped put the plyboard up. The guys that build these panels, I know Ernie was talking about how they build massive panels. They bring the panels up and they assemble them. Then we come in and we're like, okay, well, we have to make this believable. It's not just throw a bunch of stuff together and make it look all nice. So what we have to do is we have to get, this is actually 2-inch foam here that we have to put up for a base. And from that base, you can build anything off of it, anything that you want to. But this is glued, screwed. You can have a hurricane, it's not going to blow off. All right? And this piece down here, this is how thick it is. Now this is already on the board. Okay? So now we have our tools over here. Everything is manual that we've done for all these rock walls that we take. And we have this big sheet here, and you're just kind of eyeing it. You don't have to be perfect at first. You don't have to. You just got to know what a rock looks like, the general form. and you get one of these. And every single one, you are cutting these out into forms. All different shapes, sizes, small ones, big ones. Kind of think of, if you were going to look at it, what would a stacked stone wall look like? You know, they're not all perfect. Some are small, some are large, some are huge, just depending where you're doing them. And then what we do is some more glue. We'll put it on the back of this. That's side down, by the way. I hate the print. Okay. Put the glue down on here. Just enough glue though, because the glue that we use, it runs. But when it dries, it's like cement. So you have to put just enough. What we do is we put them down. And we use 4-inch screws to put all these down on. Okay, so we have a lot of screwing to do on these because these are going to hold up concrete. You have to keep that in mind. This form has to be really, really strong because if not, the weight of the concrete will take it down. So what I'm building has to be built like a rock in order for him to come in to do what he's got to do. So as we go along, we keep cutting shapes. We usually start from bottom up. We start cutting our shapes and get a little particular. You know what I mean? You do some big ones, some weird shapes, a little closer, a little farther. As we start working up, we do the first layer of these so that way we can place them. You know, so we know, geez, like here I would put another small piece. Up here I could put another little piece. You know what I mean? As you go along, you can kind of see where you need. Once we glue and screw all those on, then you get to do it again. You cut up a bunch of different other little pieces. They don't have to be perfect. You want something that's going to look raggy, like rocks broken. You want it, that's where your imagination starts kicking in with this. Is longer pieces, shorter pieces. This silly little piece on here, you look at it now and that's really weird. It's just sitting there, you know. But as we go along and we build a wall, then we get our next little tools that we use. And yes, we do it all by hand. And when you see the size of it up there, you're gonna realize why I don't need a gym. So what we'll do is we start putting the secondary forms on here. And as we cut them out, we put little grooves. We start cutting the corners off of here because there is no square rocks. Well, maybe, but not on rock walls. And we start to form them out, cutting corners here. So that way, once we start cutting these, putting the secondaries on, they're gonna look a little bit more like this one now. A little bit more rounded. It's coming together now. A little bit more till we get to the third one. This one up here is actually the last one that I saved for everybody here. I kind of did this half and half because once we go through all this, the first layer, the second layer, starting to cut them all down, then we get to the last one where we finalize, where the two pieces are joined together here to give it depth. You want them to look like thick rocks coming off the wall. And cutting them in a little bit more, and you have to scratch them all up because when he goes to do the concreting, these here are too smooth. There's a, you know, it's just gonna fall off. So you have to make sure everything is completely sanded down and scraped up, and at this point everything is glued on really good. Once all this is taken care of, now you're talking huge walls that you're doing all of this with, so it is time consuming as well. But once these are all done, we have to come through with a coating is called Roscoe that we put onto here. It's a protectant for the foam, and is it?
It serves as a fireproofing tool.
Mm-hmm. So,
if any of you remember, there's a big fire to haunt the house in New Jersey. And they went into the trailer, and some kid, the lights went out, and the kid with his lighter, and the place went up, and I don't know how many, 6 people got killed. 8. As soon as the fire marshal sees fall, we're not putting that in. But we got all the specs on Roscoe coat, and then the cement adds another layer of fireproofing. They inspect everything.
They do.
Rightfully so. And if you do use Roscoe coat or any type of fireproofing, save the can, save the label, save the receipt. So here you go, fire marshal. This is what we did. fire marshals we have dealt with have all been good people. My feeling is they're putting their name on this when they go through. Their reputation is on the line, okay? And they're standing up for me, and I will not, whatever he sees, we got inspected Thursday. Whatever he sees on Thursday, he will see if he came the last night of the show. Nothing changes. Some people bring out all the good stuff after he goes through. You're screwing somebody if you do that. You deserve to rock. Really, that's just wrong. I will not do that.
So we take great care when we do all of this. So once we coat everything here, this is finished right here. Now imagine the whole wall done just like this. And like I said, you'll see the extent of what we've done. That's when they come in with the concrete. The guy's amazing. He will come in, coat all of this whole wall, all the walls, with concrete. These forms are important because when he comes in to put that concrete on, what's under that concrete is going to reflect when he applies that coating on. So all these little divots, I mean, you kind of look at it, it's like, God, it looks like just chopped up and things like that. But when he starts applying the concrete to all of this, this is where it's going to be lower. I don't know if everybody can see me on here. The flattest part that we first put on, and then this is going to come up wide, and then it's going to come down, and it's going to flow just like a rock wall. And then once he comes in with the concrete and we let it completely dry, we go back up, we apply the paint. So now you have to have the color of stone with this. So we have to go up after all of this, and then we paint it to give it the colors of stone and everything. It could be straight gray, it could be brown. It just depends what house it's in. We've done brown, gray, so it could be any color you want. But once you paint it, then you have to detail it. Whenever you see something during the day and you see it at night, it's different. Light and shadow, everything's a little bit different. So once we painted the color, then what we do is I go back up, do the final touches, and we'll do shading in here to give it that really 3D effect. So when you're walking through, you're going to look at it and say, wow, it's a stone wall. You know, it's not just, oh, it's, you know, all of this, you know. But it's what we try to do is the detail. The devil's in the details. So, but it's also the quality of what we do. I'm the start of this. I have to make sure that when I do all this, this is perfect for when the guy comes in with the concrete. So it's my responsibility. I love it. Every day I love to come in here and do this, and everybody's like, you're crazy, because I'm every piece by hand, and, you know, gluing and screwing. I've had glue in my hair. But it's, you know, when you see it finished, it's amazing to see it completed. It really, really is. And you can do them all different ways. Even with this stuff, you could do this square stoning. You can do like rock walls. You can do whatever your imagination runs with you, you can do. So
It's expensive to do the foam. Is $30-some-odd a sheet.
yeah.
Before you even started with the foam, did you get the fire marshal's approval before you went down the road?
I told them what we were going to do.
Yep.
I have a really good relationship until my first lawsuit, and he changed a little bit because he got sued also, and it was somebody looking for a lot of money. The person got hit in the eye with a pool noodle, and they wanted we would pay for cover vacation. And they got enough. The fire marshal got a little stricter, and you know, we did everything he asked for, and we never fought him. You know, we just didn't. Okay, this is what you want. This is what we'll do. And I think we proved ourselves to him. You know, and then when he retired, the new guy came in and said, you know, Ernie, I've heard nothing but good things. You can't beat that relationship. You really, really can't. If you try to do it, you're foolish. You know, these guys have life and death over you. I mean, right? Last minute, no, you're not going to open it. What? No, you're not going to open it. What do you say? Nothing. You know, you just live clean. Because There's another gentleman who was supposed to be here, but his grandfather in Maine died. He had to go away this weekend. What Eric was talking about was concrete. There's a concrete product out there that he was going to demonstrate for you that we put on top of Eric's work. It's called Rapid Set. He puts a 1/4-inch coat of concrete over the entire project. One of the nicest guys you ever watch. I don't have his phone number, but if you ever do want to do this kind of work, let me know. He'll do it. You know, and he's worth every penny. He's just the nicest guy on earth, and he'll take a ball of it sometimes. You know, boom, throws it up against her, just sponges it around, and it's sticky, and it sets in 15 minutes. Okay, it's that quick. It sets. Rapid Set is the name of the product that comes in.
Do you use
Yeah,
big
yeah.
Gorilla Glue as well?
Do I do what?
Gorilla Glue?
Gorilla Glue.
Oh, yes. That's when I got stuck in my hair before. Trust me, it's great.
And you don't have to rough up the smooth parts?
This here is it finished, right? So even like these, yeah, these spaces in here, I would rough those up as well. It just really helps the concrete really adhere better for him. So as he's setting everything up, it's, like I said, this is like so smooth that it would literally just, yeah, I mean, it's, I really, when Ernie first came to me with this and said, okay, we're gonna be doing bats and things, we ripped everything down and we went straight down to board, and then we carted so much of this up there because we try to keep our materials with us. It's a lot easier because of how much cutting, and we don't waste a piece. That's where these little pieces come in. You never throw out your stuff because hey, I got a piece that'll look great on there. You know what I mean? So you always kind of keep everything off to the side, and as you're assembling it, that's where it starts to come in, where you'll see where you'll need a 3D effect, a 2D effect to give it that high and low places and everything. But I'll tell you what, I see it this way and I'm still kind of like, all right, fine. When he does the concrete on it, it's like, wow. You know, you get to see, you know, even without the paint, just even with the concrete, it's really, really amazing. They're going from a board like this to a 3-dimensional stone wall. It's incredible. And to be part of building that and doing that is, you know, people saying, wow, did you see that? Wow, it's the stone wall up there. It's really cool.